Hello everyone, welcome to the Cinematic Spellbook channel. When we talk about post-apocalyptic movies, our minds fill with worlds on the brink of destruction. In this video, we're going to explore 5 of the best post-apocalyptic films that will take you to a dark and challenging future. Number 5, Babylon AD. This movie, released in 2008, is a sci-fi action film starring Vin Diesel. The story is set in a chaotic and corrupt near-future world. It follows Torop, a mercenary who is assigned a strange mission, to transport a young girl named Aurora and her companion, a monk named Rebker, from Russia to New York. At first, it seems like just another ordinary job, but along the way, Torop discovers that Aurora is far from ordinary. She possesses mysterious powers, and her body is somehow carrying 2 genetically engineered embryos that could change the future of humanity. Because of this, various evil groups and a religious sect are after her, trying to capture her. Torop must protect Aurora on this dangerous and action-packed journey, while also grappling with his own moral conflict, whether to do this mission solely for the money or because he genuinely cares about her. This film delves into themes of scientific advancement, global corruption, and moral dilemmas. Number 4, The Colony.
They're coming here.
The story of this film is set in a post-apocalyptic future where Earth has turned into a terrifying ice age due to severe climate change. Humanity is forced to survive in underground shelters called colonies. These shelters have strict limitations, food is scarce, and to keep things under control, they enforce very strict rules. One such shelter, Colony 7, led by Briggs, receives a distress signal from Colony 5. Briggs decides to take a few members of his colony and investigate what happened. When they arrive at Colony 5, they discover that things are far worse than they imagined. Colony 5 has been destroyed by a group of savage cannibals. These cannibals aren't just targeting Colony 5, they're searching for other shelters to raid and plunder for resources. Now, Briggs and his group must escape from these cannibals at all costs and make their way back to Colony 7. But the danger isn't just from the cannibals. Inside their own colony, the shortage of resources and growing tensions among the people are making survival even harder. This film is about survival and the struggle to stay alive in extremely harsh and inhumane conditions. Number 3, Doomsday. This movie is set in a dark, post-apocalyptic future. In the year 2008, a deadly virus called the Reaper spreads across Scotland, killing a large number of people. To prevent the virus from spreading, the British government completely quarantined Scotland by building a massive wall around it. From that point on, anyone left inside Scotland has no way out, and the region is entirely cut off from the rest of the world. Fast forward 30 years to 2035, and the same virus reappears in London, throwing everything into chaos. The government learns that there are still survivors in Scotland, leading them to believe that a cure might exist there. Major Eden, a highly skilled and experienced operative, is tasked with leading her team into Scotland to search for the cure. However, Scotland is no longer what it used to be. It's now a lawless wasteland where people are divided into 2 groups, savage cannibals who will do anything to survive and a bizarre group of individuals living as if they're in the Middle Ages, with their own unique set of laws and customs. Eden and her team must navigate this hellish landscape, confront both groups, and find the life-saving cure. If you're a fan of post-apocalyptic films packed with action, dark atmospheres, and intense violence, this movie is perfect for you. Number 2, Planet Terror.
If anyone comes to the door, I want you to shoot them.
What if it's Dad?
Hello, baby.
Especially if it's...
The story of this film begins in a small town where a chemical gas called DC is released into the air, turning the townspeople into feral zombies. A group of survivors must fight for their lives, battling both the zombies and a group of villains responsible for the disaster. Cherry Darling, a dancer, becomes one of the fiercest fighters after losing her leg to the zombies and replacing it with a machine gun. Sheriff Trix and the remaining townspeople caught in this chaos will do whatever it takes to survive. Together, this group must band together, destroy the zombies, and uncover the truth behind the catastrophe. This film is a wild mix of action, horror, and dark humor. Number 1, Knowing. The story begins in 1959 when a group of schoolchildren decides to create a time capsule filled with messages for the future. One of the children, Lucinda, instead of drawing a picture, writes a sheet full of strange numbers and adds it to the capsule. 50 years later, the capsule is opened, and Lucinda's sheet ends up in the hands of a young boy named Caleb. His father, John Kessler, a university professor, becomes curious about the numbers and starts investigating. He discovers that the numbers are precise predictions of the dates and locations of major events over the past 50 years, such as earthquakes, fires, and large-scale accidents. As John delves deeper, he realizes that some of these predictions are yet to occur, including one final prediction that appears to foretell a catastrophic event signaling the end of the world. Together, John and Caleb try to uncover how Lucinda knew about these events and what they can do about the ominous final prediction. This film explores themes of science, fate, and how the future can be understood through mysterious means, culminating in an emotional and thought-provoking ending. Well, friends, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.